Hey there! Today we're going to talk about how we answer yes or no questions in English. It's easy once you know how, okay? Let's dive in and learn about short and long answers together. Short answers are formed by using the auxiliary verb do or does for positive questions, and do not or don't, the contraction form, or does not or doesn't for negative questions, followed by the subject pronoun. Here's how they are formed. Positive short answers. If the question begins with do, like, do you like pizza? What you have to do first in this question is first use the word yes, and then use a comma when writing, of course. And in speaking, make a short pause. Yes. Now what you have to do is to change the position of the auxiliary verb in the question and the subjective pronoun that comes after. So here, the subjective pronoun is you. Now what you have to do is to change the position of these two words, and then you will have yes, you do. But here's the thing. When I'm asking you a question, the person behind the camera, well, I say, do you like pizza? But you, on the other side of the camera, have to say, yes, I do. So in English, remember, when we use the pronoun you, depending on if the other person is one or singular, you have to answer with I. And if I'm asking from a couple of people behind the camera and I say, do you like pizza? Then the people behind the camera, or the people whom I'm talking to, will have to answer with we. They say, yes, we do. Okay? The next question is, do they play soccer? So here, what you have to do is, again, use the word yes and change the position of the auxiliary verb or the helping verb in the question, which is do, yes, great, and the subjective pronoun that comes after, which is they. So change the position, you will have they do. Now bring they do after the word yes in the short positive answer, and then you will have yes, they do. If the question begins with does, for example, does she speak Spanish? It's simple again. What you have to do is use yes and a comma when writing, of course, and a little pause when speaking, and then change the position of the auxiliary verb that's at the beginning of the question, which is does here, that's right, great job, and the subjective pronoun that has come after. What is the subjective pronoun here? That's right, she. So change the position and you will have she does. Now you might probably ask a question here and say, what if she was a proper noun? What if she was Jennifer? In that case, you had to change the proper noun to subjective pronoun, she, and then change the position of the subjective pronoun and the auxiliary verb. And then bring and put that reversed pattern after the word yes and say, yes, she does. Or let's carry on with another example. Does he work here? So here we have, again, the word does. So first we use yes and then a comma when writing. I'm repeating this over and over so you remember to use a comma when writing. And also make a short pause in speaking. And then change the position of does and he and put it after that yes word in the short positive answer and say, yes, he does. Negative short answers. If the question begins with do, like, do you like broccoli? Here, what you have to do is to use the word no, because you want to provide a negative short answer, right? Not a positive one anymore. Well, we covered positive, of course, so far. So you use the word no at the beginning of the short answer and then use a comma when writing, of course. and in speaking make a short pause. And then what you have to do is to change the position of the auxiliary verb and the subjective pronoun, which are in the question. So what is the auxiliary verb or the helping verb in the question? That's right, do. And what is the subjective pronoun after it? That's right, you. So change it and put it after the word no. And you will have no, you do. And here you need a little magic word to make the whole short answer negative completely. Okay, so that word is not. Say no, you do not. But here's the point again. When I'm asking you on the other side of the camera, or when I'm asking a person here, imagine there was a person here and I was asking him or her a question. I asked, do you like broccoli? So you here will be changed to I on the other side. So the other person has to answer with I, okay? With I. All right, so that's the reason why we change you to I here and say, no, I do not. And also remember, we can also use contraction form of the auxiliary verbs and the not word, okay? So you can say, no, I do not, no, I don't. Now let's carry on with another example. For example, do they study French? Here, the auxiliary verb is do, right? And the subjective pronoun after it is they. Change the position, they do. Now bring it after the word no with a comma in writing and with a pause in speaking and say no, they do, and the magic word, not, no, they do not. Or you can use the contraction form and say no, they don't. And if the question begins with does, for example, does she eat meat? Here, what you have to do is to again use the word no and a little comma when writing or a pause when speaking. And after that, change the position of the auxiliary verb and the subjective pronoun that comes after, which is she here, okay? And we will have she does. And put it after no. Great job. No, she does. All right, here again we use a magic word to make it negative. So, no, she does not. Or you can use the contraction form and say, no, she doesn't. Great job. Now, let's go to another example. The next example is, does he watch TV? So here we have again does and he. Change the position, he does. Great job. And use the word no. No, he does not. Great job. Or you can use the contraction form and say, no, he doesn't. That's how we give short answers to yes/no questions in English. It's all about using do or does with the right subject pronoun. Practice makes perfect, so keep trying, and thanks for learning with us today. See you in the next video.